We're on the road today, and of course we're on the road because we're with Jonathan, and he's the only one who pulls us out of the studio, which is probably a good thing. Jonathan, thank you for being back on the show again. And instead of talking about home modification, we're going to switch to a different side today. You want to tell us a little bit about what we're doing?
Sure. Today we're going to showcase a in-home safety assessment, and that's where we go out to someone's home, have our occupational therapy assistant Ron go out and meet them in their home and look around and see what kinds of equipment or modification they might need to be safer at home or extend their independence at home.
And we should note here that this can be, as far as when you decide that you want to have this inspection, you don't have to wait because you get injured or something. You could do this preventatively, or so kind of talk a little bit about that for us.
Sure. You know, we get requests for assessments from all kinds of folks for a broad range of reasons. And many people might be recovering from an injury, coming home from the hospital, or maybe have had some sort of life-changing event. Maybe they went to a class on balance or fall prevention or healthy aging or something like that. Or maybe a friend of theirs just recommended, hey, I had this done, you might want to look into doing it. And so it can happen really at any time. It can be in response to a change and changing needs at home, or it can be just proactively getting a home ready for continued and prolonged healthy aging.
So what we're going to do next, Anne has volunteered to let us inspect the house today. So Ron from Independent Living, somebody you work with, is going to do the safety assessment here. So we're going to let Ron take it over.
Hi, Ann.
Hi.
I'm Ron with Independent Living.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we're here to do a safety assessment for your place today.
You want to come on in?
Sure. How's your door for you? Any problems getting in and out?
A little bit with the grocery cart when I have groceries. It's just maneuvering the cart around my boxes that I haven't quite dealt with yet.
Okay. So mostly just to kind of keep it propped open.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you using any kind of a walker or canes at all when you're coming in and out?
Not lately.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. We'll probably go over to your living room because that's the area people spend the most time in. We can kind of talk about your furniture there, what your favorite spot is, and making sure everything's working for you. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and in your living room, what's the area that you're using most often? Which couch or chair are you sitting in?
The couch.
Okay, okay.
Is
And how is that for getting up and down for you? The height is,
it's a little low.
yeah,
When I get down, I have to kind of scrunch forward and then put my hands. Sometimes I go like this
sure, yeah.
and get up and then.
So you think if that
Stand.
couch was raised like about 3 or 4 inches, it would make a difference for you?
I think so.
So that's something that we do quite often. We are able to put runners on either side of the couch and brace it up, so it basically doesn't change the couch, except just moves it up about 3 or 4 inches.
I think that would be really helpful.
6 inches is about the maximum that we normally go because we don't want them to get tippy or anything like that.
Then
But
I'd have to use my step stool to get out.
yeah, but 3 or 4 inches makes a big difference. So you would be surprised. So that's
Okay.
something we could certainly do for you.
Okay, good.
And how about this chair over here?
Well,
Ever used-
it's more for looks, and my dolls sit there very comfortably. To be honest, I haven't really sat in that since November. I fell in November, and that's when I started having more problems. And to get out of that chair before that was a bit of a problem,
Yep,
just because it goes, downward.
exactly. Yeah, so that's why I was asking, because it looks like it could be comfortable, but once you get in it, it's probably hard to get out of it.
Yeah, it's hard to get out.
How about the footstool? You use that with
Yes.
the couch at all sometimes?
Sometimes,
the
not a lot,
toilet
but
is on the low side.
in
I
lieu
was
of sitting
just-
in that part, I sit on this part.
Oh, okay. And that's stable enough for you at this point?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That wouldn't be a problem. But I think if we raise that couch up for you a few inches, that would probably make a big difference. A lot less strain on your knees and back.
Good, thank you.
Okay. Any other things that you're doing here? You got remote control for your TV and that kind
Yep.
of stuff? Okay.
Yep.
And this chair you're not using much at all? Is that just a side chair?
It's
Or-
basically a side chair. My sister-in-law, when she comes over and plunks herself there and knits. But it's pretty stable.
Yep. one arm is a little bit loose on that, but it's not.
Yeah, I've
But
had it re-glued
sometimes
a couple
people,
of
the
times.
greatest antiques are the things that you don't want to sit in if they're not the safest in the world. So
That's just for looks,
Yeah,
that
okay.
rocker.
Okay.
I don't let anybody sit in that.
okay.
All right.
So Ann, tell me, how much time do you spend in your kitchen cooking and preparing foods? And,
It depends on the day. If I have food prepared already, because I cook one day, I take out of the week usually and do a cooking blitz.
okay.
So then I just have to warm things up basically. But I would say half hour to 45 minutes per meal, I would say, mostly at night.
Okay. Are you okay standing at the counters to be able to cut up vegetables and meat and all that kind of stuff? Are you
for-
sitting at a counter?
For a short period of time, I can stand for maybe 15 minutes or so, and then I have to sit down and rest for a while, and then I can manage to, usually finish up.
Okay. But your regular kitchen chairs work okay when you're sitting down and
Yes.
doing things? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem I have is reaching higher spaces, and I do have a stool, but it's pretty rickety.
Okay. Do you have a reacher? One of those things you
No,
can use?
I don't.
We probably can get one of those for you because you can get things up in the cabinet pretty easily. You're not the tallest person in the world, but anybody can use that, so that's not a problem. The only thing that you have to be careful with is you can't take glass items like glasses and plates and stuff like that because if they fall, it would break. And you have to kind of limit the weight to about a pound or two. Something that weighs
okay.
more than that, you probably don't want to hold on with a reacher, but that's something we can look at for you.
Okay.
Anything, you just said you use your microwave quite a bit for reheating things, or not so much?
I use both.
Okay. Any problems getting in and out of that from the height at this point? To be able
No.
to reach things in and out? Okay. Sometimes when they're up on a higher shelf like that, if people have shoulder problems or whatever, they can't reach up, we tell them to maybe put it down on the counter and put other things on the shelf that they don't use as often.
No, I don't seem to have a problem at this point.
Okay. Good enough. And you said reaching things in the bottom, is that more difficult for you too to bend over to be able to
The
pick things
only
up?
cupboard I really have trouble getting anything out of is this one, because it doesn't have the pull-out shelves,
Okay.
and I have to kind of crawl back in there sometimes, and I
okay.
can't physically do that very easily.
Well, I think that reacher would be something would help with some of those things too.
Yeah,
So
that
we'll
would
get
be
you-
good.
We'll get you one of those that make it a little easier so you're not reaching up any higher than you have to. Certainly don't have to use that step stool most of the time, and you can
Good.
get things lower. Okay. And your stove is working okay for you? You've got regular electric burners and stuff, so,
Yep, they're fine. They work good.
okay. So you said you used a walker. Was it a four-wheel walker, one with the brakes on it?
Yes.
With the seat? Okay.
It's in my bedroom.
Okay. And those are a little bit larger than the two-wheel walkers, and they're also a little heavier, so they are a little bit harder to maneuver. But the table is probably the one thing that probably gives you the most barrier that you have to kind of work around. Okay. So that may be a matter even sometimes of just moving your table over a foot or so to give you a little bit more room if you needed to, depending on how many chairs you're going to have there, that type of thing. Okay. Otherwise, you're not using any kind of wheelchair. Haven't used any wheelchairs in here at all.
No.
The floor plan is pretty open and it's all level. There's no little steps or anything that would be a problem for you there. So
No.
even with your walker, it's okay to get up and down.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's pretty much about the kitchen. Unless you have other questions or concerns about the kitchen at all.
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay.
We had a chance to look at the kitchen, and we had a chance to look at the living room. Next time, we're going to look at what?
We're going to look at the bathroom and also the bedroom.
Perfect. So we'll wait till next time, and Ron will be back with us to tour the bathroom and the bedroom.